Welcome everyone to Networking Expert WorkSpace. The workspace is a place that we come together to ask questions, get guidance where we need it, focus on time to get something done, collaborate with each other, connect, support each other, and grow our business. We want to grow our business every chance we get. So we are going to start out by introducing ourselves with our 30-second introduction. So we are going to start out with Tamara because she looks ready. We're going to go to Tamara, then we're going to go to Grace.
Okay, well, hello. My name is Tamara Patrick. I'm with Pivot Coaching, Restarting You, and this is a program designed specifically for vibrant women over 50 who are navigating their way through a life change, i.e., divorce, career change, even the death of a loved one. I can provide crystal clear clarity, direction, and motivate you so you can find your purpose, so you don't have to survive in your life, but thrive in this new chapter.
I love that. Don't survive, but thrive. I love that. I love how you did that. Tamara, yay. All right, Grace, and then let's go to Dar.
I am a married woman, the mother of two children. We are married 39 years and still very much in love. And I recently spoke on biblical marriage. And so also what I promote is healthy, organic, gourmet, reishi infused coffee and tea. And that's what I promote. But also, if you are in a marital situation or that, you're having struggles with, I could help. And also, if you're considering, dating or engagement or anything like that, I could help with that as well.
Awesome. Grace, I'm so glad that you've added that to your structure because so many of us need relationship building skills on every level with our children, understanding why we go through things that we go through with relationships is hard. It's hard. Even when you are a biblical person, it's hard to understand because we want to blame God for everything, I think. Whoever your God is, whatever your God is, we want to blame him for everything. And it's not, I'm guilty.
It's not God. What it is the sin nature that Adam and Eve introduced in the garden. That's the problem. And we try to blame God, who is not responsible for it. It's choice. It's a choice. It's always a choice. And even in relationships, it's always a choice as well. And so, yeah, I like that, LaDonna, what you said, relationships, because, I think that just summarizes it quite well,
Yeah.
relationships.
Yes, because relationships are everywhere. Friend relationships. One thing I've noticed especially that we're all in this texting world, texting has no feelings. And I never know, am I stepping over my boundaries? Is my words coming across the wrong way when you're texting? Because they have no feelings, right? So we have to be so always in mind of relationship building with our friends, with our neighbors, with our spouses, with our children and grandchildren. Things can be taken out of context very easily. So I'm glad that you've added that to your structure, Grace. Thank you. I think that's going to be very helpful for a lot of people.
Yes, and also I'd like to add that I went to university college and I have my 3-year diploma in biblical studies.
Yeah, I don't hear that very often. I love that. And back to Tamara, she is, Tamara has lived through a lot of crap. Tamara has lived a full life. And when you need somebody for life skills, restarting your life, she's your girl. There's no way around it. She's your girl. She's an Army veteran. I don't know if all of you know that. How many women in this world that are Army veterans and a career Army, not just a year. My husband only spent 7 years in the military. No, Tamara stayed until they said, go home. Go home. You have served your country well and enough, so go home. All right, we are going to move on to Dar, and then we'll go to our newcomer today. So go, Dar, go. Okay, so while Dar is trying to find her unmute button, I will go ahead and introduce myself. I am LaDonna McAbee. I am your host at Networking Expert today at the Workspace. And I am here to guide you through anything that you need help with building your business. I love teaching people how to build their business foundation and up, because so many don't know how to connect with the right people at the right time for themselves and their business. And then how do you take that connection to networking? We have to learn how to network properly and network efficiently for ourselves and our business. And then it's like collaboration time. Wow. Collaboration. Do you know if I put 10 people in the room, 9 out of 10 do not know the real meaning and the reason why to collaborate? Collaboration, ladies, is like you have this nice, moist chocolate cupcake with nice, smooth, creamy chocolate frosting on top. Now with collaboration, you get to add your sprinkles and eat them too, because collaboration is where the money is. That's money in the bank. Don't leave money laying on the table. Gotta collaborate. So with that said, Miss Dar looks ready now. Go, Dar, go.
I live in the Great White North of Ontario, Canada, where they make homemade maple syrup, and everyone drowns their pancakes in them. And so, having said that, home brewed maple syrup is a bit of an art, which leads me to my topic, which I am an artist, multi-mixed media. And I love to play with scissors and paper and glue and get down and dirty and get my hands all covered in glue and paint and everything else. That's the best part. But I design homemade greeting cards just for you. And everything I do with my own hands and my own eyes. And I just love to be creative. Why? Because I get to do what I love at home.
Awesome, Dar. Awesome. That is awesome. All right. Becca Zella, come on down. I'm probably saying your name incorrectly, so help me.
That's fine, Begazetta is fine.
Okay.
First of all, thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here. I am a children's author. I write middle grade novels and picture books, and I've published several books. And right now I'm just looking for ways to market my books and promote them, both online and offline.
That is awesome. So how many books have you written now?
4.
4 children's books, grade level and middle school, correct?
Picture books yes, picture books in middle school, yes.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Thank you.
If you would, Becca Zella, put if you have the link to your books, can you put that in the chat, please?
Okay, well, thank you.
Because we want to all take the go over to Amazon and look at her books and see you know, we're getting ready to get into the holiday season. If you don't need one of her books, or maybe it's something that doesn't interest you, maybe you can get one of her books for a gift. I know I will be looking over to see if the books will work for the 5-year-old. And because I feel like anytime you can put a book in someone's hands, that is something that is getting more and more rare, right? Because we're all going online to read, and that's okay too. But for the little ones, I still think they need that book in their hands. They need to feel it, touch it, and really live through the pictures. So keep that in mind.
Some questions for Becca Zelli in that case. First of all, what country are you from? Are you living in?
I'm in Levittown, Pennsylvania.
Oh, you're in Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so what is your country of origin?
Zimbabwe, and that's where most of my books are set. Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe. Oh, that's very interesting. And so I would like to look at your books. Now, did you say you wanted your books published or that they are published?
They are published. They're on Amazon. I'm sorry, they're on Amazon.
There you are.
And other places online.
Yes, they're all on Amazon.
Okay,
They
great.
Yes.
Great.
I'll post a link.
Yeah, we need the link.
Chat.
Yeah,
Yes,
we need
thank
the
you.
link.
Thank you.
And this is also a good time for everyone to put their information in the chat. What is the best way for Becca Zella to reach out to you? Becca Zella, please also do that. Do you want them to do you have an appointment link? Do you want them to reach out to you on Facebook? Do you want to be reached by email? What is it? For me, Facebook and LinkedIn is my favorite. But, you know, sometimes I get so many crazy emails that it becomes hard. And Heather is coming into the house here in just a second to join us. There she is with that big bowl of deliciousness picture. Look at that. She looks so happy in that picture. I love it. Love it. All right. So please, everyone, put your information into the chat. Now, this is the time we do a couple of different things in the workspace. Hello, our friend Heather. Heather, we just put all of our information into the chat so that we can reach out to each other. And we have a new, Becca Zella is new to the group, new to the membership. So she has put her book link in the chat. She has 4 different books published on Amazon. And just put all your information in the chat. There you go, Heather. And so we're going to start out today with the workspace. Does anyone have any questions that we can try to answer for you, or concerns? Tamara, I don't see anyone, but could you bring up the question that you asked me this week? Because I think it is something that we all need to really focus on. And I never even really thought about it so much until Tamara brought it up. I think it is something we could all grow on. And what was that question, Tamara, if you don't mind?
Okay, so what makes you authentic? What part of authenticity do you tell? What part do you not tell?
Okay. So
there's a lot of things that's what I have.
Okay, thank you, Tamara. So it is a very hard question if you really start thinking deeply into how are you authentic? How do you show you're authentic? So one thing that came up when Tamara and I were going back and forth with texting over Facebook is, do you tell everything or you don't tell everything? And does that make you authentic or not authentic when you don't tell everything about your life? I could see the point of, well, maybe I'm not authentic if I don't tell people about everything I went through 40 years ago or 50 years ago or 20 years ago. But we have to remember that in our business and what we do, we have to find out where we're comfortable at our authentic level and how it can interfere with what we do and how it can help what we do. So, for instance, remember, if you are a coach of any kind, you have to think that if I tell you it's not about me, it's about them. So you want to listen more than you talk. That doesn't make you unauthentic. We're here to help them. There's no need in me telling people that I'm coaching that I got a speeding ticket when I was 16, because guess what? That's probably not what we're talking about, unless I'm talking to someone that, is having trouble mentally rediscovering themselves because they've been arrested or they got a ticket or something like that. Does that make sense? But that doesn't make me unauthentic if I don't talk about it. It just means it's not something I should talk about in this conversation. So another good example would be, so most of you know that I was molested by my father when at the age of 10 for several years. Some of you don't know that. But there's no need in talking a lot about that, because even if I'm talking to someone that has their story similar to mine, because I only want to tell a little bit about it, because remember, they're paying you to listen to them. It doesn't make you unauthentic by not telling the whole story. Maybe just a little tiny bit of your story. If you've been married 15 times and divorced 14 times, you don't have to tell them about all 15 marriages or all 14 divorces. You can say, I've weathered the storm and I know about divorces. I've been there, done that, and don't want to go back there. Something like that. I hope that helps. And maybe what Grace has to say will help even more. Grace.
Did you know that your skeletal bone structure changes every 10 years? It renews every 10 years. You are a different person every 10 years. And when we go through life, we are a new person every, all the time. So we don't need to bring up the past unless, as LaDonna said, you're trying to relate to someone you're speaking with only for a short time. And you know that when, of course, from my biblical background, that when you ask Jesus Christ to be your Lord and Savior, you are renewed. Your spirit is renewed.
Absolutely. So I want you to keep that in mind. It doesn't make you authentic by not telling someone something that you've lived through. Like my past, do you know it took me centuries to be able to talk about it without breaking up, breaking my heart and soul? So why talk about it if it's going to hurt me? You have to be ready to talk about it, whatever it is. But remember, only little bits and pieces, because you're there to help someone else. So let me give you an example on Dar's level, because she's not a coach. She creates these beautiful masterpieces. I don't even call them cards. I call them masterpieces because they are. It's truly art. Art from her heart. That is the best way I can describe her cards. And Heather gets it. They are art from her heart, because there it is. There's one, and that was beautiful sent to, and she didn't, is that a card that you got, Grace, because of me from Dar? Okay, I
You
didn't
sent
tell
it.
Dar to
I
put a
can't-
butterfly on there. I didn't tell Dar to put bling on there. Dar made that from her heart, and it fits Grace beautifully. When I order cards from Dar, I don't say, oh, all I say is I need 12 thank you cards, or I need 30 Christmas cards, or whatever it is. I don't specifically say I want this for Grace's card. Now, I will tell her that, don't forget if she's sending one to Bryson, he's only 5. That way she could relate, a little character or something in his, but otherwise I don't know. But it's like that little fairy that comes to my head when Dark says, I need to talk to you. Can you help me with this? Answers come. It's just that little fairy in our heads that helps us get that spirit going and gets all the juices alive. When Becca Zella and I talked about her books, I gave her a lot of examples of how to sell her books, how to get in the right network, get in the right memberships, get around the right people to give her those nice, good vibes on how to sell her books and more of them. And it just comes. So, and to you, Becca Zella, when you're in these networks and you're in these groups, you don't have to tell everything about your books, and you're still authentic because you want to give them just a little bit so they run over and they buy your book. Just enough to buy that book. And that's the same thing if Tamara is trying to talk someone into her coaching program. She wants to tell, that's right, Heather, pique their interest. Tell just enough to get the juices flowing so they go, oh my gosh, I can't wait another minute. I have to hire Tamara now to coach me through my life change of the kids moving out of the house. And now I feel like I remember when my girls all moved out. And then, of course, Misty had Seth when she still lived at home. So when they moved out, she took her and him. And then Christy moved out, right? It was like, what's my purpose now? I wished I would have had a Tamara back then. I didn't know what my purpose in life was because my children had moved out and now it's just my husband. Because guess what? When Christy moved out, she even took the dog. So it's like, and I was a stay-at-home person then, working my business because I chose to do that when Seth was coming into our world. So I could help my daughter, recreate her life at being a mom at just barely 19, So yeah. So it's just tell your story just enough to get that interest going, to give that urgency to other people to better themselves, to give the gifts of giving to themselves or to others. That's what I want you to remember, especially, I know that it's September only, but the holiday season is on us. The fall season, the Halloween season for the ones that do Halloween. We have the Thanksgiving. I know different countries have different things going on through the fall season, and the holiday seasons are coming. It starts out October 9th is Seth's birthday, and then it just starts. We have the birthday, we have the Halloween for the baby, we have Thanksgiving, we have Christmas, my birthday, Tyler's birthday, all before the end of the year. We're becoming busier with family, I hope, for all of us. But we want to make sure that we're relying on each other to get us mentally through it because it becomes exhausting sometimes. Maybe you're not getting to spend the holidays with the family people you want to, or, you're moving during the time, or kids just went, I know Heather just had one of your sons just went off to college, right, Heather? So she's got that going on through the fall season and the holiday season. So there's a lot of changes going on in our life always, but it seems like toward the end of the year it really is, because we're also trying to finish up all of our goals for the end of the year for our business. So it becomes very, it makes our bodies very nervous sometimes and our minds nervous. And I want us to stop and think differently when those feelings come. Think about, woo, I have today to do what I can today. What I can't do today, I will do tomorrow. And just keep doing that every day. Don't stress yourself out. And when you can't take it anymore and you start stressing, call one another, text one another, message one another. Dar reached out to me yesterday. I couldn't get to her right away, but I got to my Dar yesterday. You know, she needed someone to talk to. That's what we're here for, not just business, because it's all about that connection, networking, and collaboration. Okay. I connected with Dar over a year ago. We have networked together. We have collaborated together. And we have become sisters together, just like Tamara and I have, Grace and I, Heather and I, and Becca Zella and I are on our way. Because her and I've had a couple of conversations now, getting to know each other better. And now that I know what country you're from, I'm going to go figure out what that country is all about, because I have no idea. So I'm going to go to a learning curve and go look it up and learn more about it, because that's what I like to do. I knew nothing about Canadians, except when I was in Mary Kay. I had one lady in my group and she was from Canada, and I did learn some from her, but I really learned a lot from Dar and Abby and Grace and Heather, and I keep learning. I just learned about all the syrup, what, a month or two ago. So
not the Doro syrup.
Grace even laughed at me about my syrup.
Yeah, she did. She howled.
And
we weren't laughing at you. We were laughing with you.
That's right. That's absolutely right. So,
well, I suppose that's because my grandparents on my dad's side bought 350 acres, and on a lot of the acres by the lake there was a maple sugar bush of all these maple sugar trees. Wow. And my uncle, you know, he gathered the sap and he had a sugar shack and he made maple syrup there, and oh, the smell is so good.
I'm so jealous. I can smell it. I can smell it from my screen right now. Just the aroma. That's awesome.
That care package is still coming of Happy Meal.
All right. I can't wait. So excited. So what other questions do you have today? Any other questions today or concerns that we can discuss about your business?
I need a miracle.
I know you do, my friend. It's coming. It's coming. I know it. What I would like to ask is, what are you working on right now that you may be struggling with getting started, or bumping it up, scaling it up, or finishing? What are you working on right now that, or maybe it's even you're working on it and you're just zooming through it and you're just so proud of yourself for doing? Let's talk about that for a second. Heather, what are you working on right now? Or what are you thinking about starting right now that maybe we can inspire you or give you some suggestions and ideas?
I'm actually working on my personal mission statement.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Yes. Now, have you started working on it?
Yesterday, I opened ChatGPT and I put a little bit of stuff in there, but of course your mind starts spinning and then you get distracted. So it's just like, I need to continue to go back because I wanted two sentences long, so not too long. but the statement they first came up with, it just hasn't sat right with me. So I still need to work on that more.
And I'm going to tell you, keep pushing that enter button until it makes it sound and feel like you and coming from your heart, because it's your mission statement. So it needs to come from your mind, body, and soul, from your heart.
Mhm.
And with GPT, I work with it for different clients. I keep my GPT completely confused all day long because I have so many clients that I work with, and I'm always putting things in there to help them with their social media. Keep narrowing it down, because GPT is remember, it's just going out there and searching Google and things. And then it puts a wide, and then you have to keep asking it questions to get it narrowed down and narrowed down and narrowed down. And Heather, you may even ask GPT to Google you. Google Heather Halverson. See what it comes up with. And then ask it the question about your mission statement, referring back to who you are and what it knows about you. And that is very helpful sometimes. Dar.
Excuse me, Heather forgot to mention that I told her about it and she hadn't tried it, and I told her about it after you talked about it last week. And how blown away are you, Heather?
Totally. Like, you heard what I said on Margaret's event last week. It's just like you plug in a couple things and all of a sudden it's just like the whole world opens up. But I don't know, I was scared of it before.
You
So
can even name it and it gets to know you. It knows who you are. Every time I go on it, I haven't been on it for a week or so, but every time I go on it, he knows. I call him Lenny, um, after my dad, and he'll say, how's that bookmark class coming along that you're working on? And I'm like, what? And I had that conversation with it like weeks ago.
Yes, exactly. And that's why I'm referring back, Heather. Have it Google you before you start, because it will go out and research anything that your name has come up with. And it, especially for a mission statement, it comes up with more. It'll narrow you down. It may still not be exact, but at least it'll be more narrow. Tamara, what are you working on right now, or getting ready to work on, or thinking about working on?
Really, I'm working on classes. I have a class already, but I'm going to make my Clarity Jumpstart where it's going to be either a week long or a day long, that's 5 hours, or I'm going to make it self-study so they can go to my website and get in there and do it on my site. So that's kind of what I'm working on right now.
Awesome.
I'm also working on trying to meet new people. But right now I'm also volunteering at the soup kitchen. So that's the other thing I'm doing. So that's what I'm doing.
Awesome. And so my suggestion on your Jumpstart class is that there's pros and cons to doing it online self-paced, is that you may not be able to connect with them as well. But on the other hand, it's great for people that are very busy. They can go on there and do it in their own time. So there is pros and cons to that. Just make sure if someone buys the course that you reach out until you can connect with them. It may be a little bit more homework for you, but you can do it. You can do it. And there's no reason to say why you can't do both. A group course and the self-paced course. Because it's always good to have, you should have something, ladies, at least once a month to invite someone to. Because if Dar meets with Tamara and they talk about their business, and Dar, let's say Tamara, offers Dar a class for $37, and Dar's like, I'm just not really ready right now. Okay, Dar, I understand. What is preventing you, or why would you think that you're not ready? Then they go through that back and forth. And then Dar says, I'm really just not ready right now. I need to talk to Abby about it. Okay, then you need either to set up your next appointment to talk to her, or say, even better yet, because you don't want to come off too pushy, depending on how your conversation's going, ladies. Hey, you know what, Dar? My next class, free class, you need to have a free class every month for them to go to. Now, if you don't have something, where is there a free class that you are going to be at that you can invite Dar to, Tamara? So that's when you could say, oh, Dar, I want to invite you to the Networking Expert class that we're having next week. It's free. You can check it out for 1 week for free. It's part of the membership, but for 1 week it's free. So come to the class for free. It's called the Networking WorkSpace, and that gets people there. So you don't have to have your own free class, but you need to have something to offer everyone you talk to. If it's not your class, it's someone's class. The same thing with you, Becca Zella, since you're trying to sell your books, you want to keep making sure that you're in front of these people all the time by either setting up your next appointment with them to talk about what book you have that might fit in with a 5-year-old or an 8th grader, or do you have anything for a high schooler? Whatever your talk is going to be about, how these books enrich children's lives, or what beautiful gifts they make for the holidays. Whatever it is, always have something free for them to go to, and or set up that next appointment with them. Always keep an appointment on the books for every connection you make that's worthy for you. I'm going to give you an example. Some of you know, I know she wouldn't care. Some of you probably know Joe Porter. You know Joe Porter or heard of Joe Porter? Okay. Joe Porter and I were in good connections, networking. We've even collaborated a little bit. And then she dropped out of the membership and her life changed somewhat. And I haven't talked to Joe in several months. So guess what I did? I set up an appointment with Joe. And her and I are going to collaborate on doing some networking together. So even though she was in my bubble for so long, somehow she got outside of my bubble. I'm pulling her back into my bubble. She knows a lot of people. Her business is stagnant right now. So I'm helping her out by doing some social media with her. What a great thing. We're doing some social media swap, not costing her a thing, not costing me a thing. It's free. And I've invited her back to the group for a week for free. So hopefully she'll take me up on that. Because we don't want people to think that they don't belong, right? Everyone belongs as long as they want to belong. So keep that in mind. And Tamara, just keep plugging away after it. You know what? Just do it. Like Nike says, just do it. Set the date for your group. Set the date. I know I want to come. I didn't get to come last time because you had tech issues and things, and then it was not where my calendar fit in. I want to come, and I teach on clarity. But guess what? Tamara may say something different than what I say. She may say the exact thing, but in a different way. Or someone in the group may say something different. You keep learning from each other. I will be one of the first ones to sign up, but I will tell you, I will not sign up with the course that's online because I know LaDonna won't do it. I'm just not one of those that take the time to go and watch a recording. I'm not a self-paced girl. I don't understand it. I need a teacher. I need a coach. Grace, what are you working on right now or thinking about working on, or maybe you're finishing up something?
Well, I don't know where my audio thing is to speak into
Right
it.
there, that's good. Stay right there. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I'm working on LinkedIn right now, and my goal is to be able to have four um, 4 posts per day. And I have been taught how to do the pre-scheduled posts. So I have done some of them, but I have more to do. And out of the 4, 2 are about my coffee. And one's about the coffee, one's about the upcoming convention in Toronto. And because I'm reaching out to sales and marketing people who are in the Toronto area, and I have a couple more that just showed up this morning and said, tell me more. And so I've got to tell them more and hopefully make an appointment with them, with the top commission earner in Canada who lives in Toronto. And here's the exciting thing. One of the men, he's like, I don't know, in his 50s or so. Anyways, my top commissioner in Canada is from Colombia, and she speaks fluent Spanish. And I don't know where he's, Florida. Florida is where he is originally from, but he's in Toronto. And he is of some type of Spanish background. I've looked into his LinkedIn, and a lot of it's in Spanish. I took Latin and French, 6 years of French, Parisian French, no less. And so I understand a little bit of Spanish and a little
Awesome.
smack of Italian, all that kind of stuff. Anyways, I'm really excited about that. So that's what I'm working on. And so I'm trying to build a sales force of at least 5, like it's a binary system, so at least 5 on each side of salespeople. And then whoever wants to buy the coffee can buy the coffee at
Awesome.
retail. And I believe it's still when you purchase $50 worth that you get free shipping. So
That's awesome. That's awesome. So Grace, let me give you a little tag with that, is that when you do your LinkedIn post, since you're wanting to reach out to local people, I would suggest, I don't know if it's called the same thing there in Canada as here. Do you have like a chamber of commerce?
I'm looking specifically for sales and marketing people. I have gone to my local chamber of commerce and nothing's happened. And I'm saying that in a nice way, because I could say it in a really nasty way, but
Yeah.
I'm saying it in a
But
nice
what
way.
I'm saying,
Nothing, absolutely nothing. I
So-
haven't even connected to them for enough for them to say, oh, I think your products would be great here. What I had was one woman who was into health and fitness and all that, and she's putting down my products because because half of them have black coffee, no cream and sugar, and the other half have cream and sugar. So all she's doing is talking about the ones with cream and sugar. I couldn't possibly use your products because half of them have cream and sugar. And, she's saying this in public in front of everyone else. So how can I even deal with it? I
Right.
refuse to
I
go to that
wouldn't
place
either.
anymore.
And if they're going to put up with that, if the chamber's going to put up with that, that's not right. So let's rephrase what I just said. Any groups that are nearby that maybe you could tag on your post. If there's any local anything that you could tag on your post, that would be awesome, including just regular people.
Yeah, I tag Sales and Marketing Toronto or Sales and Marketing GTA. Right now, I am tagging Sales and Marketing, specifically Durham College, because there are they have business courses, entrepreneur courses, sales and marketing courses,
Right.
and that's what I'm looking for is young people who maybe are taking those courses or who have graduated, the alumni
So
from
are
there.
you tagging the college and universities in your area?
Yes.
Okay, perfect, perfect. Because a lot of people don't know to tag when you're doing your social media. Tagging is an awesome way to get the word out. Now, what does tagging do? Do you know? Do you know what tagging does?
It makes it pop up on their thing, because when the students put in Durham College or the alumni put in Durham College and I tag Durham College, it pops up on their profile.
Yes, on their feed. So, and then
Yeah.
all their friends see it, all their followers see it. And that is a great way of upping, scaling your social media. So always tag, always tag. So good for you. Just keep doing it, Grace. Now are you, when you're scheduling 4 times a day, are you doing at least 4 hours in between?
Yes, I'm doing 8 o'clock, 12 noon, then 4 o'clock, and then 8 p.m.
Perfect, perfect. Because they like for the algorithm to make sure they're at least 4 hours apart. Now, Grace, the other thing you could consider is doing a live or a recording of you talking about your product or the business. At least, I say at least once a day, but at least once or twice a week, if you can't do once a day. People look at recordings and lives more than they do a physical post.
Yep. Well, I will do that once I get all those posts organized. And well, one of the things I'm posting is about well, 2 of the things are about the networking meetings on Zoom that Patricia Rogers is doing. One's October 18th and the other one is December, and I forgot the date in December.
Yes.
But my goal is to tag everything up to that date in December.
Yes. Yes.
And then
Awesome.
I'll have to figure out something to tag between October and December to make it 4 things, but I'll figure it out.
Yes, and I'm gonna have some things coming up as well. I'm just redoing some things. So, all right, ladies, I hope that the workspace that you learned something today. Did you learn something? Did you remember something? Okay, beautiful. Save the chat. Have a beautiful day. And I will see you all very soon again. Thank you, my loves.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.